Good afternoon, everyone. This is Linda with lindasueplantsforyou. This video is going to be a repotting video of my Ctenanthe, I forget the name, marxii. Let me see if I got a tag in here. I think I do. You're going to want to know. Ctenanthe Burle marxii. That's what it's called. And as you can see, she is growing beautifully. She's got a ton of new leaves coming in the middle there, tucked in, and she's growing so fast I can hardly keep up with her. I'm trying so hard to keep her on this shelf, and as you can see, there's a lot of room down there, but she's getting a little tall, and she's going to be growing up into that second shelf there, and I don't want her to do that. So, bear with me while I grab her and run to my table, and then I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay. And before we get started on the repot, I wanted to show you, I forgot to mention in my last video, when I got those two other plants yesterday, I also got these two items. These are, well, they call them azalea pots, but they're the size terracotta that I love. They're not real deep. They're the shorter, short but wide. Very, very difficult size to find. They're always out of them. And the great part is they had two left. I grabbed them both, even though they had a little nick in there. You know, not a big deal. Plant is going to cover that up eventually anyway. But I did ask them if they would be willing to give me a little discount because of the imperfections. And she said, oh, sure, of course. She gave me 75% off of each pot. So that was a steal. I mean, they were only, I think $2.29 to begin with. So 75% of that, I mean, can't beat that price, right? So, anyways, I got those. I was excited about that. If you know me, you know how much I love, love, love terracotta. And, okay, then this pot I got kind of reluctantly. It is plastic, and I just realized I need to drill the drain holes in here before I do this. So I'm going to have to put you guys on hold for a second while I do that. Or maybe not. There's a plug down here. Let's see what that is. Maybe I can just pull that out. And if I can, that would be wonderful. I haven't been having much luck drilling holes in plastic pots. And I think it's, and the pots that I tried to do that with were from the Dollar Tree, so that may be why. But when I try to drill the hole, it ends up cracking no matter how careful I was. No, this is not coming out, so I'm going to have to drill a hole. So let me get my drill out and drill some drainage holes in here, and I'll be back. Okay, and I'm back. I've got a bunch of holes that I drilled. That should be enough. They're small, but there's a lot of them, so. And I tend to be in underwater anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. So here's what I want to do, and here's my reasoning behind this is I wanted something more shallow, you know, where I could put this plant down deeper in the pot. So this pot is very tall, and I thought if I could get it into a shorter vessel, it would give me a little more time for it to grow up on top. But actually, now that I'm looking at it, these pots are the same height. So I'm not sure what to do here. If I should go forward with my plan or save this for something else and use something else that I may or may not have laying around. Oh boy. That makes me sad. I guess I should have measured, but I'm usually pretty good with eyeballing stuff, so I did not do that. I mean, I guess I can put these down as deep as I want in here, but oh, I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Well, you know what? I got it here. Let's see what happens. I'll plant them a little deeper. I'll get them out of this pot. I'll plant them down here in a little deeper. And maybe I can give myself at least a couple inches, which will buy me some more time until I can come up with another plan. And this was just repotted not too long ago, so I don't think I need to use new soil. I think the soil that I got it in is okay. I think I just have to add some, but I'm going to smell it just. I don't know, it's starting to get a little musty, but well, let's see what happens when I take it out of the pot, okay? Okay. My trusty green bowl here. Trying to squeeze this. That's not going to work because it's a pretty sturdy plastic. So I'm going to use my trusty spatula. This spatula is very old. Let's see, 1972 is when I received this as a gift, as part of a whole set. And as much as I love cooking on top of the stove and making gourmet meals and sauces and things like that, I'm not much for baking, never have been. My daughter loves that. She's the baker in the family. So, and this is really a spatula used mostly for like spreading, excuse me, frosting and things on cake. So, therefore, it didn't get much use. But I never throw anything away. So, hence I still have it. Okay. I'm really having some issues with my voice the last 2 days. I believe it's the pollen in the air and the dry air. We actually have I think it's now a statewide ban on burning temporarily. And they're even pulling permits that people applied for burning because it's so dry that there are fires breaking out all over. And I know people don't realize that this happens in this state. They think that only happens in the mountains, but we have that here a lot when it gets really dry, which isn't too often, but when it does, boy. Okay. Oh, she doesn't want to come out of here. My goodness. Okay. I will have to stand up. Boy. Here it goes. Whew. All right. I'm just looking over the soil, folks, because and I'm glad I did, because this looks like larva to me. This looks like I've got an insect problem going on here. This may be left over from the thrips. I am going to I have a spoon. I am going to try and get this in a baggie. And I'm going to close it up so that I can look at it later with a magnifying glass. Now, what's really perplexing is this plant is growing like crazy and it's very healthy. But I have been treating, so that could be dead larvae. But I do want to check it out nevertheless, and I'll probably have my hubby look at it tonight when he gets home, because my eyes are not very good and I don't always see things that I should, and especially when they're that tiny. So, well, nothing is really working out the way I was planning here. I hope I didn't just destroy this plant. She was growing so beautifully for me. But if that is larva in there, it's got to be addressed anyway, right? I mean, yeah, the systemic granules should have killed it, and they probably have, but I don't know for sure. And this is going to be a lot harder than I thought. Ugh. Okay. Well, no sense fretting over it. It's got to get done. I know this all appears to be coming out of one crown here, but it's not. There's a lot of different plants in here that could be divided, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to spread them out in here and put them down deeper in the pot so they had more time to grow and stay on the shelf that I have them on, but gosh, I don't know. I don't know if I should even put it through all that stress right now. It's going to mean, because these roots are so impacted and so, intertwined here, it's going to mean taking a sharp knife and actually cutting through these, which on a normal day I would do that with no issues, with no hesitation at all. But because of all the pest issues going on here, I don't know what kind of stress this plant is under, if any, but gosh, I hate to cause any more for it. I don't think I should do that. Something is telling me not to do it, so I should probably listen to that voice and not do it. If it was coming apart easily, I would try it, but it's really not. They're really in there. Okay, so let's just go with this plan here, and that is I'm going to put fresh soil in here. Well, I don't know. All right. I think that's what we're going to do. Yep, I see some holes. I see some little holes. Let's see if I can get that up closer to you. I hope you can see that. There's a line of tiny, tiny little holes where something's been chewing. And again, that could be from anything. You know, it could have been from something from a long time ago, but that's a smaller leaf, so I don't know if it's small because something was chewing on it or... I don't know. Well, I'm going to fill this up with soil and see what happens. I'm going to put some more bonite granules in here, and I'm going to give this plant a really good soaking with my Captain Jack's Dead Bug. I have to be careful because this pot is a lot deeper than what it should be. I'm not planting this up as high as I normally would in another instance. It's the crown of the plant is about right here. You can see that. A little above halfway. But again, for my purposes, I'm that's just where it's going to have to go for now. So I wanted to mention there is a lot of talk today about organic, and I'm not one for chemicals, folks. I really hate them. I hate them in my food. I can taste them in my food. And if going all organic would work for me, that is what I would be doing. But I've tried that method and it doesn't work. And I gotta say that one of the things to be careful of is we get our plants home from wherever we buy them from, and we want to only use organic everything on them. But keep in mind that that plant can still have chemicals in it because it has been eating and drinking from a source that I can guarantee you, almost guarantee you, has used some sort of pesticide. If it is a big grower, because if you watch those videos, I've heard them say, and I can't say all of them, and I won't, but many of them have said, well, yeah, when they're asked, do you use pesticides, their answer is always the same. Well, yeah, we have to in some cases where we lose our whole crop. So keep that in mind when you get that plant home. Be careful that you don't think it's completely organic or safe, because if it's been drinking and eating, you know, for sometimes a couple years while it's growing at the growers, and you get it home, just because you're now using organic doesn't mean it's pesticide free. So I just want to point that out, and I'm not trying to put anybody down or say that, you know, one way or another is bad. I'm just stating a fact, and it came glaringly true when I was watching a video not last week, and I'm not mentioning names, but it was an avid grower that people order from, that I order from. And when I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, you know, I never even thought about that before, but yeah. So, and I guess I'm mostly referring to, you know, if you have small children and pets, to be careful that if you're believing that it's 100% organic, just be aware that it may not be. Now, I know Suzette from Suzette's Gardens, as far as I know, she does not use any kind of pesticides. I don't believe. I don't think I've ever heard her say that. She uses a lot of organic products, and she uses neem oil a lot, and it works for her. So it can work. And normally I try to use my hydrogen peroxide and water mixture and a couple drops of soap, and I try to use, if that doesn't do it, then I try to use the alcohol and water mixture. And if that doesn't work, then I have to resort to this. But, you know, it's that or lose my plants, so I have to make a decision to as to which way to go, and that's usually my last choice, but sometimes necessary. Okay, well, here we are. She's all in there. I don't want to put, I'm tempted to put more in there, but I better not, because if I go up over that original dirt line around the crown, or soil line, for those of you that are going to want to correct me on that, you don't want to go past that, because that will rot the stems, right? Okay, well, I'm going to give her a treatment, and then I'm going to stick her back up on that shelf, and I'll show you when I get her back up there, and we'll see how much room we actually gained from all this. I'll be back shortly. And there she is. She looks beautiful. I hope we caught everything in time. I would be so sad to lose her. Now, I think we did gain about maybe 2 inches, 2, maybe 3 in some spots, because most of that plant was quite a bit closer to that shelf above it, I think. So, I think we gained a little time here. And once I'm sure that I'm done with all these bug issues and insect problems, I think I'm going to take and divide her up, because I really want her to fill up this shelf. I don't want to move her off of this shelf, but if she gets any taller, you know, and starts growing up in the top of there, I'll have to figure out something. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy where she is, and I thank you for all of you for your patience with me and the interruptions here, and I hope that I brought you some useful information anyway, and I hope you enjoyed my plant. Okay, well, you guys have a good day. I'm hoping to be back tomorrow with some more videos, and in the meantime, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye now.